do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da, hope I get away with it. Oh, do-da-day.
Hi, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. I am going to have to apologize for not looking as cheerful as I normally do because at the moment I am hurting quite a bit and the painkillers are not doing anything. Grandma's rheumatism medicine is not doing anything, but we shall persevere and carry on that basis. With me tonight, I've got Joe and Aunt Donna and Cap and Mike Jimmy might pop in and Thesis might pop in. We will wait for the ping and continue on that basis. But how y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing good.
I'm
Good.
glad to hear it. I am. Definitely glad to hear it. Oh, that one's. I've got the best of that one, so stub it out. Arr. Let me get my shit together.
Do we have that long?
Probably not, because after 66 years, if I ain't got it together yet, I never will. Oh.
So, since we have a couple of writers in the group, I'm going to ask a question. What is the normal length of a book, words-wise? Average, I guess, would be the more appropriate term.
Used to be 50,000 words. Some writers have stretched that to 250,000, but they were even more long-winded than I am. And then again, there are a couple of. Oh, here's Mike. And
we have the baby.
Yeah, I'm a baby
some
Judy.
friends of mine from the convention circuit. There's one guy that wrote outlines for books that were 250, 300,000 word outline.
Oh, good lord.
So,
yeah. Then you have little novelettes like I write that only run about 20,000.
Yeah. Um, uh, let's see.
I think.
About
Hey, Nita.
6,000 words.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Nita. I'm sorry I missed you. About 6,000 to 7,000 words is the limit for a short story. Between 6,000 and 10 to 12,000 is a novelette. 10 to 15,000 is a novella, if I remember correctly. And then anything longer than that
Yes,
is
novel.
basically a novel. So there are official, not limits, but word lengths that
Mm.
people use to judge which section of things to go in. And here is Thesis. We're doing really good tonight. Oh, and your camera's much clearer now as the snow stopped.
Yeah, it cleared up
Oh,
hours ago.
good. It was causing a little bit of interference in your show,
Mm-hmm.
but whatever. I mean, you did a great show tonight, Thesis. I've got
Yes.
to tell you that.
Thank
That
you.
was excellent. I enjoyed it immensely.
Great fun.
Nita, would you like to join us too? I could send you a link if you want to.
You could come in and share my reverse harem.
Well, Nick isn't here to be upside down, so it doesn't count.
Oh no, you hate people. Okay, yeah, well, we're kind of peoply, but we love you.
Mhm.
So
That is true. It's okay if it's one-sided.
We're people.
We forgive you. Ah, okay. It's
oh,
okay.
you have to get up early. Thankfully, I no longer have to get up early ever again unless I want to be on time for next show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And that's not really early.
It is for me. I've got an alarm set for 9:45 so I can make a cup of coffee before Nick starts talking.
I gotta get my trailer done today for Hallowcon 7.
How long until that Kickstarter officially launches?
Probably late April or early March.
Okay.
And I can fulfill in June and have things ready to go at both Dutch Comic Con and Castlefest, which are essentially the only two things I'm gonna do this year. Because they actually pay the bills.
Don't you have that backward, or does April come before March over in Europe?
I'm pretty sure he meant early May, but I'm gonna.
Oh,
I was gonna let it slide due to sleep deprivation due to a small child.
Hey! Have you ever raised a baby? That takes a lot out of you, including your short-term and long-term memory. I know from experience.
No, I'm thoroughly enjoying the fact that she's asleep. I got a ball right here, and she ain't having it. So
he was talking Canadian time.
No. It's Australian time. It's right down under. I have no idea how it goes, but it goes the other way.
Yeah.
It's like the toilet. It's like the toilets. Once you get south of the equator, it goes the opposite direction. Yeah.
My friend in southeastern Australia was going on about how it's summer down there, and I go, braggart, it's cold as fuck here.
I'm gonna switch to.
I can't pick on him too much because he has severe cataracts, and he wouldn't be able to read my comments. So
I'm gonna switch to Chrome. So BRB.
Okay.
Good night, Joe Dog.
And we had a
Thanks,
quick
Doug.
little cold burst as well. The other day,
Yeah.
Dan, it dropped to
Yeah.
like 40 again, and it was raining all day. Ugh.
40. Oh,
Where
that's
we had been
warm.
where we were having like 60, 70 consistently every day, and then just one day, boom, and it was raining, and then the very next day, right back up.
Yep.
Yeah, we had
Yep,
about a 70-degree temperature swing the other day when you account for wind chill.
Yeah.
There's no accounting for wind chill. It's just, it's cold, and the wind is blowing, so it's colder. That's it. That's the best of my understanding. Try not to have to go outside. That's my advice.
Well, at least I know I have a target goal for word count now. Whether it be another 12,000 or possibly 47,000, we'll see how the story goes.
That's it exactly.
Well, if you write a full novel out of this, I'm going to have to turn it over to one of the other editors because I just do the short stories now.
Well, good evening, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick, how you doing? The Tuckert family is having insomnia.
Oh boy.
Welcome
Nick.
to the club.
Nick, I sent you a preview of what I've been working on. It should help you fall asleep. Amanda has a copy in her DMs too, so.
Yeah, you're waking up.
Oh, speaking of that, Dan, I have started my introduction to my sci-fi fiction thing that we've been talked about prior.
Oh, okay. That's excellent. That's excellent. I love to see people go, you know, I'm tired of procrastinating. I'm going to do this.
That's one out of about 30,000 procrastination things for me. So,
believe me. With me still trying to learn how to set up the audio correctly in OBS so that I can record the thing where here I am, I'm on screen in the corner, and here is the music program. Watch me create. Well, I've done that once, and I didn't have the audio set up correctly. It played back through every audio input that there was. There was no way to mix anything down because it was all coming through every channel. So I've got to learn how to reset that crap. OBS is a wonderful program, but the learning curve is not gentle. It's like trying to climb Mount Everest in a diving suit with the lead weights on your waist and shoes.
And the worst for the part is, it's been worse. It's easier now than it ever was.
I know. And Uncle Carl has given me hints, and I found a couple of good videos on YouTube that kind of try and walk you through it, but you watch 5 different people's videos on how to set up all this stuff, and none of them agree with each other. They've got their own way of setting it up, and I'm going, well, maybe they all work for you, but for me, not so much. All right. It's just, I may actually have to go full thermonuclear here.
Nick is saying Aurora looks lovely.
Yeah, she does.
Of course she does.
She's a sleepy baby.
Of course she does. She's got all the best characteristics of Mike, Jimmy, and Luz.
I
And
feel so sorry for her, what she does.
She just opened her eyes and looked at the screen like, "Who the hell are all these people?"
I'm not ready to go. There are two eyes that are working separately right now. They're going.
oh, Aurora, we're just random gremlins. We will be your godparents, I assure you. We mean you no harm.
Look,
I had
it's
another
just a
gremlin,
baby.
an actual gremlin.
Oh, it's sweet baby.
Surprised my little gremlin hasn't come down to yell at me to go to bed yet.
Mine
You
have
shouldn't
finally.
talk about Trey that way.
Oh, good guy.
Hey, she fully admits she is a feral housewife, so
That presupposes an impossible condition that there are tame housewives. I know better. Believe me, at
Comment on
my age, I know better.
The gods know I'm not tamed.
Yeah, she's hungry. She has been for over an hour, but sleep took precedence. Yeah. Who are all those talking heads? Don't talk about that.
Oh, Nick, get in here and defend yourself.
Some of my people have just started out there. If you hear what sounds like a crying baby, it's little BB.
Oh, the cats. Okay, I thought you were talking about police cars and ambulances going past the house there at first.
Oh no, you hear those for sure.
Yeah.
She doesn't cry during the day, only night. And come Monday, that should all be taken care of.
Well,
yeah, she's crying for companionship, and none of the male cats around here can help her anymore.
Well, mechanically they could, just wouldn't result in offspring.
Yeah.
The habit should still be ingrained.
Yeah, but the males are
Not
doing
always.
it to each other, not to the other two females in the house.
Okay, let's not talk about football teams anymore.
Hold on, Slam. There you go.
I wanted a cat. My husband bought me kittens. I'd forgotten how much trouble kittens are.
Very much.
Well, by the time they grow up, you
Tell
will
me
have
about it.
forgotten how much trouble cats are.
I never had problems with cats. All my cats before these were well behaved. Then Calvin came
Those
along.
exist?
I've got to say that the ones that have just walked up out of the woods and adopted us have been much better behaved when they came in the house than the ones that were born in the house. Don't know why.
They know they own everything.
No. I mean, they treat stuff with respect.
Yeah.
The ones that were born here, they go,
It's mine.
this is ours now. I'm going, as soon as you start paying rent, buddy.
Yeah, it's getting harder for us to keep Hobo away from the rat cage. It's taking far more distractions.
I don't really want to think about that one, Joe, because I cannot foresee beauteous outcomes of that situation.
No, especially since the rats have no survival instinct.
Mm.
because he'll be sitting there batting at the cage and doesn't have his claws out because he's not tearing any of the netting or anything we put around it. And instead of the rats running away like they do when either of us walk up to the cage, they're sitting there clawing back at him.
Yeah, no, curiosity killed a rat. It doesn't kill cats.
Yeah. It's like,
Uh,
come on, guys. You're scared of the people who hand feed you, yet your natural predator, you're going to sit there and go, hi!
I'd like to eat you now. Oh, hi, hi, we're here.
Pick me!
Yeah, I have a
No.
picture of Shelby, so my old cat, hugging, like she was on the couch, and our first two rats, we don't have rats anymore. Oh, what a work. We're just laying on top of her, just going, yeah, no, this is warm, this is nice.
Mm.
I
And
was
then we
going to
got her.
say, maybe Hobo and the rats are just playing patty cake.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, you might want to start watching a lady on YouTube called Jess of the Shire. She does a lot of stuff on Lord of the Rings as well as other science fiction fantasy properties. Just found out she's neither a dog nor a cat person. She has pet rats.
And I will definitely send her on to the wife also then.
Yeah, might be interesting. She's quite the Tolkien scholar, I will tell you that right now. Um, Stuff that I have known since the 70s in very low level ways. She has brought forth in her videos in very much detail. So she is doing her research and researching places that I don't have access to. So, but very good stuff. Very good stuff. Um,
I just subscribed to her channel, and I'll make sure to let the wife know about that tomorrow.
and it doesn't hurt that she's really cute.
Of course not.
Well, not me, but yeah, it doesn't hurt me that she's really cute. But when someone's doing a video and I'm going, put the bandages back on, Miss
Mm,
Mummy. Um, you know,
mm.
I'm not that superficial, folks, but jeez. Fortunately, I have a wide appreciation of feminine beauty. Damn, you wouldn't think this was my eighth beer, my third brandy tonight, but it is.
Been going hard, huh?
Hey, Grandma's rheumatism medicine is not helping.
Yeah, I
It
know.
usually does. It usually does, but I've about reached my limit and going, hey, let's just go back to the damn soda pop beer and try not to embarrass yourself too much, Daniel.
Especially since we still have 1.5 hours.
Oh, that's okay. Y'all can continue while everybody stares at the top of my head and my bald spot.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No, it wouldn't,
Yeah.
and it damn sure
Or-
won't be the last time. What I hate is a couple of weeks ago, we did the whole show. We did the whole show. I played the end credits. I clicked on end screen. Forgot to hit click in stream the second time.
No.
Wound up being 5 hours of the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I was this. It was my camera was turned off. I was off doing other shit. I forgot to hit the button the second time. Joe
Yeah.
Dog will never let me live that down. Um,
It happens.
hey,
Well, I'm gonna call tonight. I'm starting to doze off. So
All right.
y'all have a
okay,
good
Cap.
night.
See you,
Have a
Thank
night,
Captain.
you for
Cap.
being here. Thank you for
Yes, sir.
being in stupid o'clock too.
Yeah, we have some good topics every now and then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, night, y'all.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Good night.
Okay, what's a billboard beanie? And why does Dan need one?
I would think it's something like a yarmulke with a product placement.
Mm.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Yeah.
So when he's sleeping, he can advertise for people.
Just have it be digital so I can advertise independent creators directory and
Yep.
I was gonna say
Hallowcon and
they-
everybody who I'm fans of.
they make the LCD baseball caps now where you can have a message going
Mhm.
across your brim.
Hey, I
Or not the
just
brim, but
had to tilt it up a little bit, but I could do that. Oh, and that really that stretches out the kinks in the back of my neck, so it actually feels better.
Good.
There
next
there have
comment.
been
Yes, but I'm
oh
correct for not letting me write the word for the Jewish religious hat.
oh
Oh
well
boy.
don't let that make you feel bad, Nick, because I know how to say it, but there's like 16 different spellings. I don't know how to spell it. I couldn't type it if I tried.
There's 16 different spellings, and the 17th one is the correct one. Uh,
Yeah, and you can only find that in book 5 of the Torah. So, and if you get that joke, you're really been studying comparative religions maybe a little bit too hard. Um, says the guy that tells the next door neighbor that invited him to his Baptist church. Goes, well, yeah, I'm a Zen Baptist. I think about going to church all the time. Oh, I got to put that up there. Yeah. Oh, my mom hates it when I tell people I'm more Buddhist than Baptist these days. She goes, "What does that mean?" And I go, "It means I'm not going to the church that I went to as a kid because that's a fashion show and a Ku Klux Klan meeting all rolled into one." Good grief. Um, but that's the church my wife goes to. The one I used to go to as a child. The one that my mother decided we were going to go to because it's right there next to the house almost. And it was pretty much in the 70s, it was pretty much a fashion show. People would dress up like they were going out to the most expensive nightclub in town to come to church.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And other people that were more down to earth would be some of the local farmers and elderly gentlemen and their wives and they would just come in blue jeans, coveralls, clean clothes, but nothing fancy. And they got looked down on.
Mm,
I did
yeah.
not like that. I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
Because these were people that I had worked with and I knew to respect because they had knowledge that I had never been allowed to access before. But now my folks raised me. Your elders may be crazy, but listen to them. They usually have something of
Mhm.
knowledge to impart. And with my family, your elders may be crazy is a mild understatement.
Yeah, a week or so ago, we went to an event at a local library, and after it happened, you stand around, you chat a little bit. This gentleman comes up and gives us a business card and asks, says, we're starting a writers group here. Hope you want to join. And of course, Carl and I are like, we've been in too many, no thanks. But the friend that was with us says, I've read up on this group, and in order to get into their writers group, you have to sign a paper saying that you agree with and will adhere to their religious beliefs. And
Nope.
this pagan is going, oh, I think I want to belong to that writers group. I
No,
could
no.
cause such chaos.
I know too many people of too many differing faiths to go, hey, I'm going to adhere to this one self righteous cult. And
Hmm.
speaking of church camp,
Hey, Zach. Yeah, I would take some of Zach's shenanigans in church camp and take it to that writer's group. Wouldn't that be fun? I just, oh yeah.
Just
If
say no.
it,
Just
if it
say no.
wasn't 40 miles away, I would have thought about joining the group just to mess.
Zach, if she's really cute, I'm going to say yes.
Only for one night.
I don't know. Might be worth more than one. Might be worth a long time investment. That's why I've been married 3 times. Uh,
As a friend of mine says, you're going to do it till you do it right.
I'm going to do it till I die. Um,
Well, you got it
and
right the
even,
last time.
oh, yes, I did. I got really lucky. I got really lucky this third time. Um,
Well, three
Yeah.
times the charm, let's say.
Well,
well,
my friend was announced that he was getting married for the fourth time,
Oh boy.
and I'm like, "Are you just going to go from wife to wife?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm going to do it till I get it right." Well, I don't think he did it right because she shot him in the ass one time.
All right, I gotta go and pay attention to this little one because she's finally through her bottle. And I will
Understood.
talk to you guys probably next
that
week.
that bottle looks
Okay.
dangerously empty. It needs to be refilled and heated.
Hmm.
No, it doesn't need to be refilled. She's full, but it means that she needs to burp and needs to, get changed and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yep, all
I
that
know,
good
I
stuff.
know.
So take care, guys.
Have a
Says
good
this a
one,
man
Mike.
with like 17 grandchildren. Yeah, I understand.
Take care.
Okay.
See you, Mike.
Yeah, he went 100 miles. He had his son drive him 100 miles over into Indiana to a hospital over, and I think it was in Crawfordsville, so that nobody in Danville would know about it.
That doesn't
Yeah,
work.
that didn't work out because the person who told me probably told the rest of the town.
Damn it, Carl.
When Carl? Carl doesn't even know this dude.
I know, but it was a good line. Mm.
Well, he forgot to tell his son to keep his mouth shut. And his son told my friend, who, as I say, probably told the rest of the town.
Hey, lip radio is one of the few things that can dependably travel faster than light.
Yep.
Gossip travels
Yep.
at
Kind
the
of.
speed of imagination.
He was wanting to start a political career here in Danville, and needless to say, that
Was
shot
not
that me.
Nip it in the bud.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh. Zach, is there any rocket news we should know about?
No, it was too windy, so they didn't launch today. So we try
Oh,
again
okay.
tomorrow.
Okay. Well,
It's a
sometimes
boom today, boom tomorrow.
you
It
got
might not be
to.
boom tomorrow. There's people on board. If there's boom tomorrow, we got a big boom problem.
Didn't get the reference, huh?
Nope.
Oh, you're too young. You probably never saw the TV series
Which one?
Babylon
Babylon
5.
5.
I've seen clips. It's on my list to watch.
It will take a little while. The first season is rather slow to develop, and then there are character changes in the beginning of the second season that will throw you for a loop. But then you go, okay, this works,
Mhm.
and accept it on its own merits. Uh, it's all good. It's just there were several executive decisions that might not have been according to the scripts, but the same guy wrote most of the scripts for the entire 5-year run of the show.
That was
So,
what, early 90s?
yep,
Mm,
yep. If you
sounds
get
about
a
right.
chance, watch the original pilot uh, movie episode before they ever went to series. Um, pay strict attention to the musical score because you will never hear that again. But
B5 was.
the drummer from the Police wrote the orchestral score, the musical score for the movie, and then when they got to series, they decided this some bitch is too famous and too expensive. We're gonna do something else. Um, Actually, no. I think it was more a case of that was rock music to a space opera. So we want to be taken seriously. So we're going to use orchestral stuff from now on.
Fair enough.
But it was
It was quite a fun little
I've always heard
series.
good things about it, so.
yeah,
Even the series.
it is really good.
Hmm.
It's right on up there with Sliders and um, uh, there was one of the more obscure series that was along the same level of excellence, but in a totally different direction. And now I knew the name of it a minute ago, but now I've lost it. So if it
Hmm.
pops back into my head, I'll blurt it out and derail whatever conversations we're going. Farscape, Nick. I liked Farscape.
It was fun.
Um,
I
it
wouldn't. I don't
it
know if
it
I'd
just
compare it.
it just didn't ring. Farscape was not something I was equipped to get into at the time. I might nowadays, if I were watching the original stuff for the first time, um,
I was gonna say we don't really have a show like those now, like Babylon 5,
no,
Farscape.
No,
There's a
no.
few others. We even Battlestar Galactica. We don't really have a show that fills that. I mean, the
No.
spaciest show right now is For All Mankind on Apple TV, and then I guess Discovery eventually is coming back with its last season for Trek.
mm,
But
Hmm.
now
Well,
if no one has ever encountered it before, I would highly remember, recommend. Use the right vocabulary, you idiot. Um, Angston's Face. No, no, no. The proper title is Blake 7.
that was a good one. One of the
Uh,
fun things about Babylon 5 was Straczynski insisted that his cast interact with their fans. And if you went to one of the cons where they were, you know how sometimes when they've got the autograph session or something, and they okay, time's up, and if you're standing in line, you miss out. No, not with the B5 people. You were there until everybody was taken care of, and then they'd go and party with you.
that's
well, part of that was because the cast were really nice people to start
They
with.
will. Oh, and I love Jason. I saw Jason Carter. Yeah, but they also made an AOL chat room where that was monitored, and if somebody came in and said, I'm so and so," you knew that's who it was, and you got to chat in there with, and I am blanking on the actors' real names, but you knew this that if he said he was Jakar, he was Jakar, and we got to talk to
Yes.
them. Jason came in several times. I remember Jason's name because I'd actually met him in person and partied with him, and he's a lot of fun. Hmm. But yeah, Straczynski said these people are the reason we're on and that we're lasting. You will interact with them, and everybody's like, no problem.
it's just a different time. I think now it's just that
Well,
level of almost, I guess, thanks for the viewers
Thank you, Nick.
has really dissolved away. Like there's definitely still out there
Andre
watchers that
Castillo's,
care,
yes.
but
Yeah, you're exactly right, Zach. Um, the
it's just a paycheck now for a lot of people. Like I was watching a podcast that's some of the old like Disney actors, well not old, but shows that I watched that got canceled that are now having reboots and being brought back for like my generation's kids, so that the parents want to watch it and all that. And I've watched a couple podcasts with some of them, and they're like, "We were brought back for a season, and then we were fired." And I'm like, "I really didn't care. I didn't even read the script. I had someone highlight my lines. I showed up, and I got paid." And I was like, "Do you?" I mean, I get getting a paycheck, but why have fake it, lie? Like,
I mean, seriously,
I
these are
wonder why you
people
got
that
fired after one
love
season.
the show.
Yeah,
Play up to them. Now, Firefly.
that was a shame.
I
I
finally got to
have
see that.
I have to admit, if Firefly had actually been shown in the correct order, I probably would have got into it much easier. I know how good it is, but at the time, being out of order, I could not connect. It wasn't until I found out what the correct order for all the episodes were that I watched them in the correct order and go, okay, yeah, this is right on up there with Cowboy Bebop. I like this. Um, and Cowboy Bebop for me is high praise. And I'm talking about the animated. Um, The movie
Serenity.
was good. It just wasn't quite my cup of tea. It was a different interpretation. And there's room for that. There can be different interpretations. The movie for Hitchhiker's Guide was definitely not my cup of tea. No matter how many really fantastic people are in it, the BBC video production, hmm, that was the jam that I was in for. Spread that over some toast with some butter, and I eat it all up. Um,
With us being in this kind of reboot.
Nick, I am so glad you said that. I am really so glad you said that.
Nick,
DS9 ripped off. Yes, yes. Um, Straczynski tried to sell his Babylon 5 idea to Paramount, who then said, "No, we don't want to do a space station show," and then promptly stole 70% of the ideas and turned it into DS9, which was not a bad series at
oh
all.
no,
Decided, besides the fact that it was a total ripoff, but it wasn't a total ripoff. It was, hey, that guy that we didn't pay, he had a great idea. Can we steal parts of it?
well, if I have to make a confession, I only watched DS9 for Avery Brooks. I had fallen in love with
That
him as Hawk on Spencer, and when I saw he was
that
going
is
to be on DS9, I'm like, yeah, because I've been disappointed with Next Gen.
that is totally acceptable
You
because
didn't like Next
Avery
Gen?
Brooks is an awesome actor. Um,
What, Zach?
You didn't like Next Gen?
I found it preachy,
Mm-hmm.
and there were way too many episodes where we have 10 minutes left. Let's let Wesley pull us out of this shit.
Yeah.
that was a common complaint. Yes, Miracle Child saves the day.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, yeah. I know you just saved my damn starship, but shut up, Wesley. I'm not going to praise you. Um, I'm trying to hook up with your mom. Um, yeah, we know it happened. Uh,
Before or
no,
after she
we
fucked
ac-
the ghost? I
we
mean,
we actually know it happened. Yeah. Um,
sorry.
oh yeah. Wesley was Jean's Mary Sue. Yeah. Hook up again. Thank you for the correction. Yeah. We never did really find out whether Wesley's dad was the former uh, uh, Mr. Crusher or Captain Picard doing a little bit of midnight creeping. Uh, yes,
Yes, he is.
Will Wheaton himself is an excellent person. He's gone through some shit, and he came out the other side as still being a decent human being. I got to admire that. He could have been just soured on life entirely, but no, he he made the conscious decision to be a better person, and
And
God,
he makes an
he's great.
excellent villain.
Oh well,
Excellent villain.
yeah. He does. He does. But yeah, when they stopped using Wesley as the miracle child character that could solve everything in the last 7 seconds of the show, um, the scripts took a decided upturn. But my experience with Next Gen was that every other season was more enjoyable than the odd numbered seasons. The even numbered seasons I liked more than the odd numbered seasons. I don't know why that is. And they did follow Classic Trek's example in a few instances to have stuff written by major science fiction writers and even minor science fiction writers that have had successful novels out there. Um, for example, Tin Man, the episode Tin Man, was from a novel by, oh, I can't remember his name now. I'm so sorry. I've got it on my shelf. I've got the original novel on my shelf. And when Next Gen did it, I go, "Oh wait, that's what's his name." And they stuck very closely to the novel. They really did. They adapted it for Star Trek, which is what they were. That's their mission, to adapt stuff for Star Trek. But Classic Trek used a lot of really big name sci-fi writers at the time, submitting script ideas and adapting their own stories and whatnot. I mean, Sitting on the Edge of Forever, Harlan Ellison, very impactful story. Next Gen, they had all kinds of folks come in, as well as just, and just is not meant to be a pejorative term, but regular writers. Um, Melinda Snodgrass, Measure of a Man. Believe me, that woman can write. Um,
Y'all know if you ever want to say anything, you're going to have to just interrupt because she's going to go on and on.
Oh yeah.
Love you, Dan.
I was Googling things and thinking things at the same time. I was, because I had mentioned Discovery. I was like, it feels like it's been a while since the last season. It has been. It's been almost 2 years.
They don't have seasons anymore.
We really don't. I mean,
Yeah. Not at least not for the shows that are strictly streaming.
they bring them out when they think they're ready.
Mm.
Oh, that's like no Equalizers on CBS on TV, and you'll get a couple of episodes, and then it'll skip a couple of weeks, and then it'll get a couple of episodes, and then they'll go, "This is the final one for the season." And like five shows.
Well, folks, I am gonna take off from here. I will see you guys all Monday.
See you, Joe.
Night, Joe.
Have a good night.
Good night. And yes, Aunt Donna is right. Unless somebody interrupts me, I will talk continuously for days and days and days.
You know I love you, Dan.
I know you do. I know you do. I don't feel the least called out. But Thesis, this is a...
Well, these guys are kind of new, basically to us, and I just wanted to let them know it's perfectly okay to.
Oh, hell yeah. Interrupt me, please. I'm boring.
I never said that.
You can't be boring if we're all here.
True.
I will monologue like a supervillain until somebody comes up with something that I go, oh, fuck, I need to shut up and listen now.
I don't think I have many of those things, but I will ask you a question.
Yes.
For shows like Firefly and the other ones we were talking about, we seem to be in this era of either remakes or reboots. Do you think those shows are worth another crack at that type of storyline?
A
Because
lot
some
of
of those
them
are
know.
20, 30 years old. Do you think there's a place for them now? Or have we aired
as
out?
long as someone pays attention to the original. Reboots should not replace the original. They should be continuations, basically. Maybe in its own way, a next generation of the original. Um, oh, Nick loves my monologues. Yeah. Uh, one of the few, the bold, the misguided. Yeah, Nick. Um, and I was about to phrase thesis here when I got rudely interrupted. Um, no, now thesis. I know you haven't had that many episodes on your own show yet.
No.
Just less than 30, I think. Um, I've watched them all. I've liked them all. Um, I think you're becoming more comfortable
Yes. Very
with
much so.
being the center of attention on camera,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. That's you should be comfortable. Um, it's not exactly like I practiced this sword drill and I'm going to do a show now. This is a demonstration. No, it's more like, okay, here I am at home. I have a few things I want to say. Let's just have fun.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And it's the more comfortable you get with being on camera, with being talking to people that are invisible to you except in chat, the smoother your delivery will be. The smoother that you're able to integrate things that you scripted out before that you want to get across, the important points you want to get across.
Yeah.
You'll get there. You'll get there. You're doing gangbusters right now. Just
Thank you.
Um, and
The first,
I
the
keep
first few
comparing you
episodes
to
were, yeah, they were not good. Especially the first like 2 or 3.
Don't go back and look at my first live streams.
They were not
You do
good.
not want that. Mm-mm.
hey.
But now I'm pretty comfortable in front of the camera, and doing stuff like this helps a little bit too. So I try
You're more comfortable here than you are on your own damn show. That's not the way it should be.
Well,
You
there's
should be
more
more
people here.
comfortable on your own show.
There's more people here to talk to. I'm not talking to my dog.
Hey, if your dog's listening, talk to it. I mean, seriously.
Oh, she's
Doesn't mean you have to look
Totally
away
judge it.
from the camera. If Mr. Stabby is listening, talk to him,
Hush, baby.
Click thump. Oh, and Zach, you got nothing to be ashamed of. You're very heavy on factual information in your shows, and that is not easy to deliver to a modern audience which is suffering a distinct lack of being able to concentrate because you don't talk in sound bites, you talk in actual information.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting seeing the range of type of viewers, and I realized it about a year in. I was like, I picked the wrong industry for an easy YouTuber job. I could have picked golf, politics, movies, and TV. Would have been billion times easier. No, I picked the one that half the world thinks the Earth's flat, and that we didn't go to the moon, and have to convince people of that. Yeah, and then have to just be like, it's not rocket science. Oh wait, it is rocket science. Okay, so we're gonna boil it down and make it easy-ish. Asterisk, not really. But it's interesting. It's fun. I think we've recently discovered the very weird fact that like the last lunar lander that ran, and we've done a few of these type of streams.
Mhm.
We've tracked them, and I think we found that there is a huge void in just
Gesundheit.
live information, and we're at that point of people want instant gratification, and they want to click on something, get the info, and leave very quickly. And so for the last few lunar landers, I've made a still image in Photoshop and put it on a live stream, and then taken a little picture of the lander. And every few hours, I manually move it across because we know roughly how long it's going to take. So I put little ticks, and that's all we do. And if we get an update from the company, we put the tweet on the screen. We're doing what we would do in 3 years if just rocket launch coverage in a week.
Yeah.
Because it's just clicking. I mean, we were shocked that it was like, oh, we're sitting at, and I'm not fluffing numbers like just because of amazing numbers. We're sitting at 1,200 people sitting in the live stream. But then you go into the back end, we're getting 800 new viewers a minute. And it was like, where are y'all going?
Oh no! Of course
Say
you
hi
can.
in
Of
the
course you
chat.
can.
Like, you don't have to leave. And, so we're starting to do like polls and stuff that we're noticing people are staying around. But it's, we every now and again I go back, especially at the start of a new year. Every year we mark another year. I go back and watch some of the early streams, and it's like, ooh, no, no, that video needs to be hidden.
Well, the thing is, with a science oriented thing like that, you've got to prepare for multiple levels of engagement and multiple levels of this is educational for you, this is educational for you, and this is educational for God damn it, what college did you go to again? Professor, let me know. As long as it's not Professor Hinkley, you're doing okay.
I think the thing we found the funniest was this last lander. We ran our tracker, and we're broadcasting the lunar landing. So we're giving commentary. We know we're landing in the next couple of hours. We're getting updates on the extended a burn, taking longer, and it lands. And we're like, okay, stream's done. Like tens of thousands of viewers in one moment, and we end and we're going through Twitter, just seeing people's reactions to the whole landing. That it's trending. And someone's put a picture up from inside the warehouse where they built the lander, that they threw a big party with all the engineers. And they had this big screen up. You're like, okay, they're watching the landing. No one noticed this and tagged us, but I'm just glad that we stumbled upon it. The screen was not showing NASA. It was not showing the raw video feed from the lunar lander from Mission Control. It was showing my YouTube channel trying to sell them my merch to the engineers that built the lunar lander at their party. which means they had another time delay because they were waiting to know if they landed on the moon based on my laptop in Canada. And I'm like, I really hope they didn't have the audio patched in, like blaring across this warehouse, because I popped in and I sold our merch every like 10 minutes. Join our Discord, become a member, and I'm like, oh my goodness, why were they watching this? But
Really,
then it's like,
nothing's fucking
wait,
happening. Buy my T-shirt.
yeah, right. And I'm like, but wait, they're watching my stream to watch a little thing click around the moon by my guess based on how much time it takes to land, because they're not doing it. Their mission control isn't running a data set, and they want to see a visual representation of
Of
what
the
is happening.
data set, yeah.
And it's like, okay, so we're now launch coverage and live trackers.
Next time you go on a cruise, you're going to be the star of the ship.
No one knew me this time. This last one I went on, I did not have one person who met me. That I talked to 3 people about YouTube the entire time I was on the ship. I was like, okay. So, which was nice, because I also wasn't wearing TLP merch the entire time. So I wasn't a walking, talking billboard that you're sitting in the hot tub and like, what's the launch pad? You're like, okay, here's a business card. Let me give my spiel. It was nice to take a few days off. I've got another cruise in the fall, so we'll see. It'll be interesting. This one's in Europe, so Norway. I don't know why we're deciding to go to Norway in September.
It's going to be a little chilly.
I mean,
He's in Canada. You won't notice.
No, that's
minus
true.
30. It's minus 21 Fahrenheit outside right now. I'd still have to go to school.
I'm very proud of my Viking heritage, my Scandinavian heritage, but I hate the cold. And people who know about my Viking heritage and know that I hate the cold say, how can you be Viking? And that's because my Viking ancestors are the one that came around Europe and went into the Mediterranean Sea. Oh, that explains that 11% Italian in me.
Oh, so they were the smart ones. Mine were the ones that went north and were like, ooh, Iceland, let's live there. That's a nice volcano. We should settle here.
Yeah.
It's warm in that volcano. Let's build a village right here. It'll never erupt. Okay. It'll only erupt every
So many years, yeah.
half a lifetime.
5 times this decade so far.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Natural disasters need to be like they are in Indiana. God looks at the state, whips a dart at it, and says, F that place. A big old whirlwind hits it. It's drawn magnetically to the nearest trailer park, and then it moves on. I'm just saying.
Well, someone did that to Vegas
and
today.
Those 7 fish in particular.
Zach, you were saying something? I'm sorry.
I said someone did that to Vegas today. Apparently, they had like monsoon hurricane storm just appear.
Wow. How can you have a monsoon in the middle of the desert?
Steal all the water yet? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, if they have extra, can they send it here? We're already in a summer drought warning. It's March. That's how little snow we've had. The farmers are already saying they're not even going to plant because they're not going to be able to water their fields.
Wow.
Yeah. We all the snow showed up this week. We had a blizzard about 5 days ago where we got just outside the city. They had 15 inches in 12 hours, and it was like it was a lot. And we're like, great, we got our entire winter snow in 12 hours. The problem is the ground's already frozen solid.
Yeah.
Yes, Dan.
You can read my mind like a magazine.
You obviously read mine.
moving on.
Where's your little sign?
My
no,
sign.
The green room.
I can't do that over here. I do not have that kind of operational power. It's real easy. If I'm advertising my actual title, I have no power. Oh, there you go. Very nice. That is a great cat.
Yes. I'm so glad that I've made Carl his own, not the green room sign. I made Thesis his own, not the green room sign, and I still have Richie's original. Oh Lord.
And you're saying what I was thinking deserved all three.
Yes.
Yep.
No,
One for
I
every
was
6
just
inches or
I was
so.
just showing
Anyway,
off.
Was actually sitting there with
Oh,
He's
I
sitting there
should
going,
make
"Yo,
Zacky's own, not the
I
green
need to
room
change
sign.
this to why am I here again?
because you love us as much as we love you, Zachy.
True, and I was going to be on earlier, but then I got called into a work meeting. Who doesn't love a work meeting at 10 p.m.?
I love being retired.
Well, the best part is I have work meeting from 10 p.m. to about 11:15 whenever I join, and then I have to be up nice, bright and early tomorrow because that same person is delivering my server, which then I have to set up all day. Well, not all day, but a chunk of the day.
Yeah. Plan for 2 or 3 days. Hope you
Well,
get it done overnight.
He set it up in his place, so I have to connect the internet, and it should mostly work.
Should.
Keyword
yeah.
should. Keyword should.
Let's see.
Just like Shopify should have paid me on time, not held my money for the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we found that out this week. That was fun. Yeah, we found out that we have not been paid since April 20th, 2023, for anyone that has placed an order through our shop if they paid in any other way other than PayPal. PayPal we would receive. Every other payment method, Shopify did this new thing called balance, where they hold your money until you tell it to withdraw. But they didn't tell us. So we found a very nice multi-digit number that we did not know existed. So it was a nice surprise, but it was like, oh, that explains why I couldn't pay bills since last April for all the manufacturing.
It does. I tried to update my PayPal with a gift card I got during my last day of work. And it's supposed to be good until December this year. PayPal would not recognize it. I'm going, okay. Maybe I can use this at Dollar General or something. But if not, I've got a completely empty plastic thing that was supposed to have $100 in it. We'll see.
Needs Elon back. I would say that, but they don't because he's making a new version of PayPal with X. But PayPal was way better years ago than it is now.
Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It doesn't have a really distinct end date on this gift card. It says 12/31.
Well, a lot of gift cards now aren't allowed to.
It's supposed to be good till December of 2031. Okay, I think I can spend $100 between now and then.
Because in Canada, gift cards are not allowed to expire from stores or a number of different places. They say it's technically stealing by it expiring based on you forgetting it. So a lot of them are doing that, 50-year expiration date of being like, okay, in 50 years, if you haven't remembered this gift card, that's on you.
Excuse me. Are we still at it? We've still got 45 minutes to go before I
We
could
just getting
possibly.
started.
Yeah, really. Um,
Yes, they were.
Hmm.
yes, they were indeed. You're right.
And if you watched them, if you want a really neat time, there was a program on Felicia Day has not Felicia Day. Yeah, Felicia Day has a YouTube channel called Geek and Sundry. Now, during the period where she wasn't quite as popular before she hit Supernatural and such, she, being friends with Will Wheaton, had Will Wheaton on, and they would play tabletop games. And they bring in people from, Michael Dorn and all these other actors from Star Trek would sit down and play. Well, we're playing this board game this week to see if it's any good. And you get to find out just how unlucky Will Wheaton is with the dice roll. He's almost as bad as Joey. It's phenomenal to watch.
Why didn't more do stuff like that during the pandemic? Everyone started podcasts just complaining about everything. Why don't you just sit down and play a game?
Let's see. See, it's funny because I DM'd toward I can't remember if it was during the pandemic or just after, but during that weird time, I did almost a year running a D&D campaign kind of thing online because I got asked to do it. And yeah, there were some amazing things. You just had to find them because you got to be so careful with your algorithms, because I swear everything is geared to get you young women in various stages of undress dancing badly, or advertising music for people. What?
You've seen my TikTok thread then.
We've seen your OnlyFans, Zach.
I'm not sure about that. It's called Only Rockets. That's where you get to see Rocket Daddy.
With the tops off.
Just tell me they're not red. Anyway,
Thunderbirds are go.
I'm being summoned. I'll be just a moment.
Okay. I just got a message from Joe Bachman about the story he's working on, and I have got to tell him to quit sending me stuff in PDF format because that's a little bit difficult for me to process for Aphelion.
Joe, stop sending him stuff in PDF format.
Yes, please, Doc X, excuse me.
Text file.
I am
really,
Mac.
Yeah, whatever, as long as I can get it in the email and find the converter, that's fine. PDF is one of those things where every time I try and open a file, it goes, hey, this could contain viruses. And I'm going, yeah, look at the rest of my email and tell me text files don't contain viruses. Just protect me, all right? That's all I really need. And I should stop monologuing now.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Oh, good grief. I do love to talk.
Well, and that's the wonderful thing about this program. Now, Thesis, there was something I wanted to say to you, and I didn't want to say it to you on your programs.
Uh-oh.
But no. I've been watching the majority of them, but I didn't want to say anything because I was worried that if I kind of sometimes have more personality than the situation is comfortable with.
Hi, Kiwi.
So I wanted to make sure that you had a chance to kind of feel out and get your own stride without thinking I was looking over your shoulder. And I hope you understand that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're doing wonderful. But, I wanted to make sure you understood that because you are doing a great job and you're getting there. And it just takes time. I'm still feeling it out. I have to come back from all the physical stuff. So,
Yeah,
Lord knows my show's changed a lot.
I was telling Thesis earlier tonight that I'm impressed by how much he is improving and obviously becoming more comfortable doing the shows. And I keep comparing him to Willow,
Willow
who
Skylar?
was scared to death and is now much more comfortable doing her shows. And I'm going, you know, this is the progression. You start, you're nervous, you do a couple, you get more confident, you do more, you get more confident, and eventually you wind up at the point where you're like me, nobody can shut you the fuck up.
That's why I give my team the mute button.
Oops, click. He's having audio difficulty. Thanks, Joe.
So Dan, it's just Dan and me. Dan, you remember Mac from the Hallowcon?
Yeah, I do.
Took you a moment, didn't it?
Oh, it always takes me a moment.
But especially when you're. Never mind.
No, it's especially when I'm not in the same environment. I can't even recognize people at work when they're not in their safety gear.
Well, we also don't normally walk around
When I meet them at a
usernames.
grocery store or something.
Oh, I was referring more to your imbibing, but okay, we'll go with your explanation.
I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
Can you tell the time?
You tell it the time.
I am not fucking drunk.
Oh god.
And just for reference.
Well, he fell over.
Oh, here it goes. Oh shit, Dan, are you okay?
I'm okay. The camera's not showing the damn clock because of the
green screen, yeah.
The green screen.
We can't.
Unfortunately.
That somehow makes it even better.
Okay, here's the joke. The clock on my wall in my office.
That's the backwards one, isn't it?
It's the backwards clock. It's a counter clock because it runs counterclockwise.
Why?
Why?
Because it's cool.
It's cool.
Do you know how much trouble that would cause in my line of work? 0, 1, 2. Where's the rocket going?
Backwards. It's a journey to the center of the.
Don't give Elon any ideas.
Well, he has a boring company. It's only a matter of time before he tries to combine the two. You know, get a rocket-powered borer to get his little hyperloop going.
Don't give him ideas.
Hey! If he wants to meet Tarzan at the center of the earth and Pellucidar, who are we to stop him?
My thought is, if Elon wants to do something else crazy with his billions, that's fine. But if he wants to credit me, say, 1% of what he's probably going to spend on it, you know, I gladly accept that. You know,
creative rights, yes,
absolutely.
I find myself in the same position, the same condition as Dawn, wanting neck muscles to pop. Oh dear, same condition. No, I think her health problems are a little bit more severe than mine.
She's got dead people in her.
Yeah. I'd welcome zombies if it made my neck stop hurting. Oh, and there's an episode of the Y-Files that's not going to be made anytime soon.
Yeah.
I heard that one.
Which is
Oh,
true, Mac, and so does Elon. I mean, I was gonna say if we stream this show on X, I wouldn't be surprised he shows up.
hey, if I
2
knew
a.m.
how, I
2 a.m.
would.
Eastern. This is where he gets all his ideas. This is why he owns Twitter.
Yeah, that's cool.
2
Just
a.m.
like-
idea led him to a Nobel Peace Prize. Who knows what we'll come up with?
Just, if you use an idea I did, Mr. Musk, please, hook a hobbit up. That's all I'm asking,
I will take a free ride on Starship and an interview. I'm a cheap date.
Now, see, there's a difference between you and me. I may be easy, but I'm not cheap.
I said a cheap date. I didn't say how many dates. I'm going to see you every single day. I'm not leaving.
You just end up with a job as a conductor on one of the,
I wouldn't say no.
the moon and back claws. You're just walking around with the little punch. Welcome to the Celestial Express. We'll be taking you up
Tickets,
to
tickets, please. Tickets.
What do you do? I don't like Earth Grav anymore. I've been out of it too long. It's just not natural.
Waldo.
I think it scares me that
Robert
they're now
Heinlein.
figuring out what happens when we start making babies in space and on Mars and can't bring them home. That should have just stayed in sci-fi, but no, it's reality.
Yeah.
Actually, that has been covered in some of the harder science writers' work.
Yeah, but now we're going to start testing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're testing horrific things left, right, and center. I mean,
well, we don't talk about those.
Just be sure you turn off the camera.
That's why we do this.
There goes half the income stream.
Wait. It's that odd influx of rocket scientists named Smith with German accents who just appeared in the early 50s. Yes.
Or the ones that were born on Mars but came back alone.
Oh, you've been to Roswell? No.
Oh. Stranger in a Strange Land.
You calling me strange?
Obviously.
No.
You wouldn't be here.
Literary reference, folks. Catch up.
And mustard, but no. See, I have this little theory, and it goes something like,
Whoa.
they've tracked Homo sapiens as being around for between 200, and they recently want to drop it back to 300,000 years. But we've only done technologically interesting stuff in the last, 5 or so. Really? No chance that we've been up and down. Not to sound too Battlestar Galactian, but I think we get far enough out, we're going to find signposts from ourselves like, no, dude, just turn around. It ain't worth it. Which is better than something short like beware the bugs.
Well, see, we did have advanced technology. I mean, and then Atlantis got sunk. The Aztecs got eradicated.
But then Atlantis flew up again.
Exactly.
A nice big Stargate in the middle.
Thank you. Well, Commander Shepard's got his puddle jumpers and all as well. I'm all for it.
I mean, we've almost got puddle jumpers. They're just called dream chasers instead.
Did you guys hear? No, shoot, where was it? Was it MIT? It might be MIT is working on opening interdimensional windows to observe.
No. Pull the budget. we're gonna screw us 7 ways.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's only one way this could end badly, and
And we
that's
will
if
find it.
someone punched into the Lovecraftian universe.
Statistically, how many things on our happy little, well-defined little layer of existence around a big spinning rock still want to eat our face?
5.
And that's, yeah, you have that. You start poking around into the other dimensions. I think we're going to find, maybe somebody doesn't want to be looked on. You get the observer effect going, and
Mm,
we're going to quantum entangle ourselves with something we're not ready to deal with, and it's going to be delightful.
Don't poke Cthulhu. He's
They
busy
can wait about
sleeping.
100 years, so I'm gone, then they can screw up.
What makes you think you're not going to be here 100 years from now?
It's
You're
true,
We're
I'm
still
too
sure.
poor for
young.
the good stuff. Well, I don't know. Zach's got just enough connections. He might get the phone call. There's a black SUV waiting for you. Get in it. Click.
I've had that call, but they bought me a plane ticket first.
Uh-huh. See? You're one of those people who are, what do you call it?
Oh, please.
Statistically important.
Obliviously connected.
Yes.
Obliviously.
No. I've known several people like that who are just either obliviously or not obliviously, just oddly significant.
I do believe, and you will hate me for saying so, we might well be alone in the galaxy.
In our galaxy or all galaxies?
Well, actually, it doesn't matter because being alone in the universe is just as terrifying as not being alone in the universe, not being able to find anybody else. Because intelligence is so few and far between. And the iPad has just completely died. So
Well, that's what I've always said. I believe there's other stuff out there, whether it's 1, a carbon-based life form, and 2, intelligent. To our point, that is a much bigger ask.
Well,
but some sort of organism, something living. I mean, stuff we're still finding on Earth under rocks and in water.
Yeah, they just found 100 new species on a single dive off the coast of Chile. I was watching that because I love that stuff. I am greatly concerned as somebody who kind of is a big fan of the deep sea, marine life and stuff. I grew up watching Jacques Cousteau, so how many. It's really rare that we're seeing this creature near the surface. This bothers me, profoundly. When they're like, oh look, there's a 25-foot oarfish in 15 feet of water. No, this is not good. When the Japanese see all the earthquake fish coming up, and hey, I wonder what that's about. I mean, maybe we're gonna get smacked with the reset button because we kind of caused some problems.
Yeah, but the possibility that we are alone is almost exactly as frightening as the possibility that we are not alone. We just don't know how to communicate yet.
Well, that was the big thing with Webb when I was talking to some of the scientists that are the engineers building it for scientists. And once they confirmed deployment, one of them said to me, and I was like, took me a minute to grasp it. He's like, we're 1 press release away from them announcing that James Webb has detected artificial light on a planet that it is photographing. That they have ruled out every possible natural way. Now, that doesn't confirm life, but something's making light that isn't the planet itself, and it isn't any sun near it. And he's like, is our world ready for that type of press release? Like, that
In
changes
all
a lot.
honesty, I think during 2020, most of Western civilization and a lot of Eastern developed such a deep I lost the word I was going for. The opposite of empathy.
Apathy.
Apathy. Thank you. Bordering on applied nihilism. That we as a people just don't care. I think so many people are in a current situation where we've got to the point where we're tired of being our needs being distracted by other major things we can't control. The Russians may have a space weapon. The thought is, for a civilian, that sucks. In theory. And I'm not too worried about it because I remember crazy things like them shooting down a satellite with a laser from a destroyer in the 90s. And, so I don't really worry about physical orbital bombardment. That I just don't worry about it. But most people are like, okay, they're aliens. Yes, they're aliens, and they might be on Earth. Are they going to help me handle this whole rent problem? I mean, are they going to help me get the meds I need for my family? Right now, people's necessities, they're going, I think the vast majority of people rapidly treat any foreign power, any extraterrestrial power, the way they treat most foreign powers. They might know it conjecturally, but very few people have any idea what life in, say, Germany is actually like, let alone, some of the more far-flung places. They just can't grasp it and frankly don't care to. I don't mean to say that people are sheep because that's ingenuous and hypocritical. I think people are just too busy trying to survive right now, at least the majority of people, that sucks, but unless they become another threat, I don't have time to worry about them.
Yeah, I mean, you might have a rocket dropped on you, but if you don't pay that rent by Friday, you're out in the streets.
Notice dropped on you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play this card often, but I have an autistic kid with behavior issues. I live in such a state of constant fear that he's going to have a bad day in front of a cop or something. That, Zontar, the thing from Venus, is, just...
It's not important. It's not there. It's not.
It's academic until it's not. It's the only way I can put it. My higher thinking goes through all the philosophical and political and scientific glory of all that. But the functional thinking's going, okay, serenity prayer time, I can do nothing about this, so maybe I just need to get a bigger planter and plant something in my garden because food's going up. I mean, that's literally kind of how I'm looking at things right now.
Well, basically, the way I look at it is, are they going to buy our books? Otherwise, they're just other folks out there.
So Zach, what cruise line do you use?
Both times I've gone was Norwegian. But
staying away from celebrity then.
Yeah.
Should I be?
Oh, you didn't hear?
What happened?
Elderly couple on a cruise. Husband dies of a heart attack. The ship's captain tells the widow, you don't want to take him ashore here because there'll be an autopsy, there'll be an inquiry. We'll put him in our morgue until we get back.
Yeah.
They did not have a morgue. They put him in a beverage refrigerator. And by the time they got back, the beverage refrigerator was not cold enough.
No.
and the body was lying on the floor, and he was badly decomposed by the time they got back. Yeah, there's lawsuits going on.
Oh, there'd be lawsuits up the yin yang. I mean, when I was talking to the crew on Norwegian, they have a morgue because I know it was day 4, I think, of my first cruise.
This particular boat had a morgue.
But,
it was non-functional.
Yeah, neither was their beverage fridge.
Well, the beverage fridge was set at
a nice chilled Coca-Cola temperature.
Yes. A morgue is set at about 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Just barely above freezing.
That's astounding. No, I did not hear about that. Luckily, I'm not going on them this fall either.
I just watched Caitlin talk about it tonight. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's where I learned about it.
Yeah.
Ask a mortician.
She's awesome. She is awesome. She and Jess of the Shire, which is Tolkien oriented mostly, and lots and lots and lots of other people that have their own specialties that I'm going, ooh, if I want to know about how to kit out a used ambulance to make it into a camper van, I'm going to watch Ben and Emily. Yeah.
I've been looking at ambulances for mobile studios.
Oh yeah.
Well,
this was celebrity cruise line hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norwegian was good. It's had its moments.
Most
but not
of the
dead body in the refrigerator.
Cruise liner boats are supposed to have a sizable morgue just in case, because a lot of the accidental deaths on board are either falls, going overboard, or heart attacks of some kind.
Well, I talked to crew on my first cruise, and they said right now the average is almost a person a cruise dies, like per week long sailing. And they said it's a huge part due to the population that goes. Well over 50-60% are elderly, and a large portion of them also are elderly that don't relax and don't stop. They are very busy and just go, and they stop for a week or they stop for 2 weeks if they stay longer, and their body just stops. In the middle of the night. It's not a bad thing, but they come in to clean the room after, because most of the cruise lines now have a rule that they have to inspect the room at least once every 48 hours, and they can unlock the deadbolt to do so, type of thing. And
okay, so Carl and I should be safe when we go on our cruise as an elderly couple because we already know how to relax.
Exactly, you're fine.
Cool beans.
I mean, like, I went with my grandparents, and this was their first cruise. My grandfather is a workaholic. He gets up in the morning, does the dishes, takes the dogs out, makes breakfast, goes, has a morning nap, but he always says he's work.
Well, that's that generation.
I've never seen him stop and sit on the balcony with a drink for 3 hours. And just watch. There was nothing to look at. The water was just going by and just relax. I was like, please don't die. No, we need some stress. Okay, well, we missed a bag, something. But
that happens all the time to people. Like, I've watched it because, where I grew up in Michigan City, the steel mills were the big thing. And it happens. They get out at 65, by 67, they're dead. Because it's like their body goes in stress, the cortisol and the adrenaline just isn't there. It doesn't know how to function without being at that high alert, and they just croak.
And they don't have hobbies. All they've known all their life was to work. That's that generation. That was my father's generation. Even though he had a bad heart, he worked every day up until about well, 2 years before he died. But he did learn when they went down to, even when they went down to Florida, he totally remodeled uh, their trailer. He was always doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps the mind going, it keeps the body going. And then my generation's the complete opposite. We don't want to work. We don't get
Well,
stuff done.
I'm
generally.
between the two generations. I did my work. Now I want to now I want to not work.
I think that's the thing I haven't heard many people my age recognize. Is like, no, there's a time that you're going to work. That's how our world works, literally.
Mhm.
But there is a point you'll hand it off to the next generation. But if you ain't working, what do you think your kids are going to do? Guess what? You ain't getting a break.
Yeah, the comedian that I watched the other day, and it might have been in the Secret Humor group, but he said, "I'm I'm never going to be like my father when he walks into another room and then forgets why he's there, because I'm never going to be able to afford a house, just one room."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What people, I think the next generation, which I am terrible at reading people's ages, so probably Zach and beyond. They woke up from the American dream, and I kind of had that hit about college, where everything was laid out, and I went for 8 years, and the law changed, and the degree I had after working for 8 years was worth diddly squat for becoming a teacher, because I went for 8 years because my dad's a disabled veteran in Indiana, so most of it was covered. And I have a bachelor's in English, business, and history with a double secondary focus in psych and soc. Before 2007, I think, in Indiana, you would test to prove, you took a test to prove knowledge and competency in a subject, and you could teach the subject.
Mhm.
They changed it to them wanting you to have a test in of teaching technique. You don't need to know about what you're teaching. We'll tell you,
Mhm.
which I find that both symptomatic and terrifying, because if your teachers don't know the subject well enough, how can they critically analyze what they're teaching the kids? But
Well, what got me was when I was tutoring at the local college, how things have changed. Had a gentleman that I was helping read, and he said he was working for his associates, and his work was sending him to school, and in order to keep his job, he had to have an associate's degree. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. What do you do? Janitor. He needed an associate's to push broom.
Yep.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Some of
My wife was a security guard between library gigs. She had a master's degree, and she still has it, obviously, in information and library sciences, I think is what it is. And she literally, the only job was a midnight security guard. So, yeah, our system is not stable. And I think a lot of it's because we don't have enough physicists in economics. You have these people who believe, well, money will always go up. If you do this, you will always make profit. It's like, you're forgetting that the supply of customers does eventually run out. Like, you can set the price as high as you want, but there comes a point where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, there comes a point where history repeats itself, and the fall of Rome is upon us.
Well, see, I think the fall of Rome isn't quite. It's easy to say that. It's very easy, and that feels like a shortcut. I hate to say it, because the responsibility and the likelihood, and frankly, the only hope for, if not American civilization, but a large part of world civilization, if we are going to prevent despotism, I think, is we'll need a civilized version of the French Revolution, essentially in America. And historically, this is the only nowhere
yes.
in history have we had this many, this much economic stratification. And what's happened is the base has become so relatively enlightened that they are running out of people to blame, because throughout American history, there's a whole row of, well, it was the Irish and it was the Italians and it was, these people coming in are the ones who are doing it, or these people who believe that, or these people who, are attracted to those people. They're the real problem. And the problem is with the internet, it didn't go where, people live in a small town and maybe never see somebody of a specific ethnicity. We all know people. We know trans people and gay people and people of a myriad of religions. And we find out that the vast majority of time, the vast majority of people really are fairly cool folks if given a chance.
Exactly.
And when they can't lever bigotry as a social control, at the same time that technology is meaning we can't lever oil as an economic control, because since the early 1800s, if you could control oil production and prices, you could literally reshape the entire economy of the world however you wanted. You decide the war. So the controls are going away. The next thing's going to be water. I really believe that.
Exactly. Yes. Water empire. Yeah.
That's why the corporations have been chasing so hard to get access to the major aquifers. That's why they're putting out, Indiana has been trying to pass anti-water. You can have rain barrels because of potential wildfire issues. And what it is some of the western states have had to do that because there's such a dramatic water shortage. But if we can convince everybody that you can't have rainwater, then you'll have to buy it. It's the same as, I hate lawns with a passion because food is so expensive and people have been convinced that rudimentary gardening is impossible. And, when you look at like the 1950s, you had the victory gardens. It hasn't changed that much. I mean, you might not
change at all
a big, beautiful thing, but you can, I could grow great tomatoes like they're, coming out of my eyeballs, We tried it. We ended up with like an 8-foot tall bush that completely dominated our entire little raised bed I set up for Amanda. It was insane.
If you do it right, you can get a 16-foot tall tomato plant.
Oh, yeah. But see, the idea of HOAs and things, well, garden plants are unattractive. You want that nice lawn that requires water and requires us to have some kind of mechanized device to keep it down is stupid. And we don't need to try to look like rich English lords anymore.
We don't need to look like Californians.
Assholes. Just say it.
I love you, Jesus. Right there. But, we live at a time where if you want to do something truly, like you want to be hardcore punk, you want to really rebel against the system, plant something. It just...
I would if I could grow something, but I've got...
Black thumbs?
Oh, yeah. My poor mother, when I was still living at home, when they were going south for the winter, would take her favorite plants with her because I could follow her instructions to the letter, and she knew there'd be at least half those plants dead by the time she got home, no matter how hard I tried.
Well, there have been really neat studies about the electrical fields of plants. It's like I was just watching one where they recently discovered there's literal magnetism between flowers and bees.
Mhm.
Because apparently, because of the way the wings work, they develop, and I can't remember if it's positive or negative charge.
Mm-hmm.
But the plants naturally have the opposite. So
The
when the bee
opposite
comes
charge,
in,
yes,
the
indeed.
static actually pulls the pollen to its legs. It's
Night
why,
Mac.
and it's
It's
just,
about
but
it's
Yes,
about
it is
time to
about.
say good night. Anyway,
Yes,
we got
it
5 minutes.
okay. Sorry if I got prattly. I'm just kind of
No,
passionate.
no.
Oh no! Don't worry, Nick. Don't worry.
I'll just do to you like I did to Dan. Anybody else wants to speak, just talk over him and he'll shut up.
Throw a verbal elbow. I mean, see, I come on, if I come on Dan's show, I know I have to come on kind of ready to go. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or else I'll be sitting there nodding. And the problem is if Dan and I get going, that's it. I mean, we'll be
It
on
could be a
till
never-ending show.
And then Uncle Carl would go, that one you thought was 5 hours? Again?
You
5
get
hours
me
broadcast.
and Nick and Chris together,
Oh God.
and we heterodyne off of each other. There's no set topic. It's just
Mm-hmm.
do you remember when this? Do you remember that? Have you heard of it? And it just that is one of those endless things that
Mm-hmm.
just it will derail anything that anybody else has come up with.
Yeah.
And seriously, if it's just me and Chris and Nick, it could be a 24/7 broadcast, except for our various responsibilities.
We've done that, Kiri.
And then after
Lord.
the show stopped, Dan and I kept talking for another 5 hours. I'm not being facetious.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can believe it.
Oh yeah. I've
He's sitting here like this talking, but he can't get his head up. I'm down here like, yes. We look like we're both entirely sloshed, but no.
No, Nick's sober. I'm sloshed.
Night Facebook user, whoever you were.
All right. We got
3 minutes.
2 minutes.
Mac of all trades, I just want to catch this comment because it's brilliant. Nick, we need a constitutional convention peopled entirely by the reincarnations of Cincinnatus. Sir, you have hit my niche. That is a brilliant statement. I adore that from the bottom of my heart. You know, the man who just simply, okay, I have to leave my farm, fight for Rome. Do you want to be emperor? Nope, I'm going back to my farm.
Exactly.
And then do it again. I think he did it 3 times. They kept, there's a war. They need him to come out. Yes.
Night, Kiri.
That's, actual service. Night, Kiri.
Yeah, really. I'm not interested in ruling. I just want to keep my family safe.
Yeah.
But I can't be gone too long because I got to get my crops in. That's why farmers make the best soldiers. They're not going to screw around. They want to get back before the next season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is taking too long. Kill everything.
Yeah. Well, think about it. The guy who can love a sheep or a cow, raise it from its, youth, take care of it, keep it safe in the winter, defend it, minister it when it's sick, and then when it's time slit its throat, is a hardcore dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't like that cow. He doesn't like you. I mean,
yeah.
You're the guy that's keeping me away from my farm.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. That's an essentially human attitude. Look, you're between me and what I love to do. try to be someplace else.
And you haven't seen Babylon 5?
I
Oh, wait,
have
no.
indeed. I have indeed.
Okay, because that you very skirted what I consider to this day to be the most badass quote in all of sci-fi.
There's only one human captain who has ever survived a battle with the Mimbari. He is behind me. You are in front of me. If you value your lives, be someplace else.
And do you know what she said? Janice was talking about it. Mira had read it for the first time. He looked at her and she said, "Oh, I didn't know you spent time in Eastern Europe." Deadpan. That lady was hardcore. People don't understand.
Yeah.
If Mira Furlan said, "We're marching here. We live for the one, we die for the one," I don't care. That woman had me completely like. See, sci-fi ruined me for useless people. It ruined me for like twittery, chattery, useless. I couldn't find that style of woman attractive at all. Competency, and I was way too attractive watching things like Babylon 5. And JMS could write, just very few people can write for women and have them sound like a badass woman, not a woman aping the behaviors of a badass man. Because there's a different cadence.
There's a very different dynamic. If you want to live another day, do not get between a woman and what she loves. Do not attack what that woman loves, or she will unmercifully eradicate you and anybody that follows you.
Yeah, I scared Dawn one time when somebody attacked a loved one. It's time. Say goodnight, Gracie.
I know.
Good night,
it's time. I hate to say goodbye, but thank you all for being here. Thesis, please excuse us for talking so much. I know I basically monologued the entire 2 hours, but I did let Nick talk a little bit, and I let Donna talk a little bit, and I let Zach talk a little bit. All you got to do is say, "Hey, Dan, I've got something. Shut up," and your turn is right there.
I've only had to tell you to shut up once.
True.
Yeah, but that was when you wanted me to kiss you.
No, then I just kissed you. I didn't tell you to shut up. And it was a good $10 kiss.
That's great. Set anybody up right there.
And I imagine Thesis is probably still saving his voice after having lost it this last week.
Yeah.
You did well
All
with
right.
your show.
Yeah.
You really did.
Hate to say goodnight, but I will love to see you again next time we're on. Thursday night, starting at 9 with Stupid O'Clock, 9 Eastern Time, that is. Please translate that to your time zones, as they may apply. Sometime soon, we're going to go back to Daylight Savings, which is
a week from today, actually.
I thought they were canceling that.
So did I.
Yeah, they're supposed to be, but
they haven't.
They have not informed the people that make calendars yet.
Cowards.
We had a
They
vote.
may not. Screw it. I say change the clocks by 30 minutes and don't ever change it again.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
I'm practical. All right. Thank you all for being here. Thank everybody that's watched along with us tonight. Thank everybody that's going to watch on reruns later on. I promise I will hit the end stream buttons to end the show, and I won't have a 7-hour thing I've got to download and re-edit again. But
At least not without warning.
at least as Chris is wont to say, go good guys.
Not everyone.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you all.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.